from Woodstock Television Galactic Council of Light. Welcome to the show tonight. We have lovely guests. We have a bunch of surprises. And we have some very interesting footage. It's very controversial here in the studio. Not all of us agree upon it, but we still work together. I have some footage from Phil Oakes. Thanks to the Viking Renegade Pictures, he has some footage. And Nate Armstrong, one of our cameramen that have been helping this show to go on for a while, has some footage that he created himself. And I can't wait to see it. He says he has a good message. Although it is pop music, you said?
Yeah.
It's pop music,
electronica, even worse.
Yeah, okay. And also, we want to talk to Mike Platsky. So, put your hands together for Mr. Platsky. Poet extraordinaire. Come on down.
Mr. Platsky was my father.
Oh, okay.
So you can call me Michael.
We
can get casual here.
All right, Mike, what's going on?
Well, I'm here to make a pitch out to the community, the greater Woodstock community, for our annual holiday party on Christmas Day at the Woodstock Community Center, which has been going on for some 20 years. We've lost count.
Such a shindig, right?
It's an old tradition that was started by Roxy Dawn, who was a singer, songwriter, poet, raconteur, political activist, social activist.
I love it.
I brought a CD. There's some footage of Roxy at a Christmas party. Maybe one of the last ones she was around. David, you could play it any time.
You got Roxy Dawn Sings, Roxy Dawn Xmas.
Roxy Dawn Xmas. That would be the one. Sure, let's put it on.
Okay, here we go.
People get a taste of what the party is like. No, Roxy passed away.
In the spirit of rock,
build us a new community center. Save the old one for tradition's sake and because it's a good, useful space. But add on to that a place about 3 times as large, put in a real restaurant kind of kitchen that people could do these events and they could cook right in the hall with those big refrigerators with the glass doors, big kitchen stoves you could do turkeys in. They could also do bathrooms and showers for the swimming pool, which also could be used for people who needed to take a shower. They could get a chit from family and come down and have a shower here. So what I really want is, I want a new community center with a big kitchen.
This here thing just found its way into Family of Woodstock, and we're going to wrap it up nice and pretty and give it to somebody. Definite sugar OD waiting to happen.
These? Look at
So that was some footage from one of those holiday parties on Christmas Day in 1998, and there was Roxy sort of putting out what her dream was.
I love that idea.
You know, this thing is big. We have fed 400 to 500 people at these some years. And her vision, of course, was always bigger and more. Let's build a bigger community center.
I like that
Let's put
idea.
A professional kitchen in here so we can really make sure we can feed everyone on Christmas.
Yeah, fabulous. And make cookies and, have the food professionally in the refrigerator.
Really, it's just a Christmas party.
It's just a Christmas party.
Or, I'm sorry, Roxy, she speaks through me, a holiday party on Christmas Day.
Holiday, yeah.
But Santa Claus does come. We have gifts for children. But we need help making this party happen.
Okay, yeah, we need some help.
So I've actually got someone's name and phone number. Can you actually digitally put this person's phone number?
We don't know how to work
with
newfangled equipment.
Everyone at home, grab your pens and pencils.
Get your old-fashioned
and we'll vamp for a minute to give you a chance to do this. But here's what people do out in the community. They buy and cook turkeys.
Yeah.
The town of Woodstock, by the way, has been always really supportive of this day. They pitch in
That's fantastic.
a nice chunk of money so we can afford to buy turkeys. And they need people, we need people, to help cook these turkeys and bring them down to the community center.
Okay.
So I'm told by Michael Ralph, whose phone number is 339-4875. 339-4875. They need about 5 more turkey cookers out there.
Okay, so all you cookie turkers.
We also need people to just cook and bring food.
Okay.
A lot of the local restaurants pitch in and bring dishes, but we need side dishes, greens, mashed potatoes, anything you would want to eat at
Lovely. And
Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner.
And
we could use it.
Yeah, and you also encourage musicians and
Well, now we do. The other end of that is that there's always been entertainment, volunteer entertainment. We are really wealthy out here in the community. I came to extend an invitation to you right here on the air to please come down.
Well,
and
I'm
play
glad
some
you
music.
did.
And to put it out to the community, any of the singer-songwriters. Now, we really don't want you to bring like all your gear, you know,
light and
set
tight.
up. But you know, like a good acoustic thing over the town sound system. It's a tough audience because people are eating, you know, and conversing and talking. But it's also a great day, and there's been a lot of great music in the past. We have a lot of good people coming. Uncle Rock, are you watching? Are you coming again? He's coming
Uncle
like a
Rock
number of
rock
years
the
in
house,
a row,
right?
and he rocks the house early to get everyone in the mood. Santa Claus is coming. There are gifts for children and adults. If you want to bring gifts, buy a scarf, a pair of gloves, a coat, anything. It's basically to make sure that everyone in this community has a Christmas. And come on down and help. I want to give you this phone number one more time because Michael Ralph has really stepped up to the plate to help organize this party this year. It's 339-4875. We're also looking for people in the community who want to pick up this tradition and keep doing it. I'm told I've been getting behind this thing for 10 or 11 years now. And I'm getting a little tired. There are people in my family that get a little grouchy on Christmas Day because I'm not home. So
you know,
come on out and get involved.
A good reason to raise
we need
the
people
spirit.
Yes, we need people to come out. We need people to serve food. We need people to make food. We need people to bring gifts. Or we just need people to come out and hang out and eat all the food. That, of course, is what it's all about. So thanks for having me on the air so I could make this pitch to the community. Thanks for making this party happen for over 20 years. We're going to do it again this Christmas. Everyone come out and join us. Thanks.
Fabulous. Thanks, Mike. Come on down. It's time. And we have also, speaking of music and merrymaking, we have Nate's video we want to show here. Nate, what would you say about your video, if anything, before we watch it?
Before we watch it, it's interesting that we were talking about dreams being realized there. It's called Dreams of My Life, and it's about just doing it, going out there and actually fulfilling your dreams instead of just talking about them. And
that's a fantastic thing.
Yeah, it is. We shot in Seattle and Vegas, and we talked to people on the streets there, find out what the dreams of their life were, and 9 times out of 10 there were people that were, valets or working behind a counter selling wine, and they always said, I want to be a doctor or a veterinarian, but they were no closer to that goal that day than they were the day before. So hopefully,
but they can still dream.
Yeah, they can still dream, and hopefully, they'll one day.
Dreams of My Life Extended.
Extended shows some of these folks.
You want extended?
So yeah, we'll go extended. It's not. Oh, sweet.
Who got these? This is
for Gabrielle and Madeline.
Oh my God! Thanks, Gabrielle and Madeline. You guys rock the cookie house here. Look at that.
I mean, who doesn't love a little Christmas tree, right?
And happy snowman.
Okay, you guys ready?
We were 5 minutes ago.
The dream of my life was to be a nuclear electronics technician on board a space shuttle. I went to go to school.
If I could do anything in my life.
Meine Lieblingsbands sind Foreigner, Genesis, Van Halen und Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Ich will Musik machen.
Whatever you're dreaming of, whatever you want to
paradise. Come on, man. Here we go. Yeah. Wanna keep this thing going. Never drop, never let you go. What you gotta do is what you did when you first realized there's a wide idea that things are born with the morning sun and things do die when the day is done. Read that tombstone, what's it say? That this guy was here and he lived one life, one time, one day. Pray to go on, life ain't so long, time to get strong. I gonna dream of my life. I need to survive. And I never give it up. Dreams of my life. Dreams of my life. Dreams of my life. Dreams of my life. Don't be fooled by what you see. Dream with love and not with greed. Lustful, in greed and power. Rule the stars with bullet showers. Rape and steal, so crackhead deals. Also lie and keep it real. That's keeping wrong, so keep away. My words will straight up better way. That kid with dreams is still alive. That man with plans and drive can't hide what's inside any longer. It's alive and growing stronger. I will never look like left.
If I could do anything in my life, I would be a doctor.
I gonna dream of my life. I need to survive. And I never give it up. Because I got a dream of my life. I need to survive. And I never give it up. Dreams of my life. Dreams of my life. We can get that money. Milk and honey. Love and flame. We can win this game. Dream with hope. Hope to keep this dream alive. It's time to die. No time to waste. Head first in deep. The water's warm and immersed. I'm going in head first. I gotta dream of my life and I'll never give it up. I gotta dream of my life and I'll never give it up. I gotta dream of my life. I need to survive. And I never give it up. Because I gotta dream of my life. I need to survive. And I never give it up. I'm flying out the PCH tonight. Dreams of my life. I'm living my dreams and that's what's real. Dreams of my life.
The show is.
You're on it.
So that's it. It's really just about, getting out there and doing it.
That's fabulous. That editing was wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I can't wait for you to magically appear with some editing from Woodstock Television.
That's the plan. Get Aaron out there on the trails.
Yeah,
and,
get Aaron out there on the trails.
We're going to do some hiking videos, I think, is the plan.
Fabulous. That'd be wonderful.
Introduce people to maybe trails that they haven't experienced.
Thanks, Nate, for being the nuts and bolts of this institution.
Oh, geez, thanks.
One of the nuts and bolts. As you notice, I heard the term. Never mind. Okay. So what else is going on here? We have some footage from Phil Oaks. This is my narcissistic moment. I'm having David show footage of me singing a song called The Same Boat. And I always think, well, if there ever is a great flood, we'll all be in the same boat together. Whatever happens to that person is going to happen to this person. I'm kind of feeling the oneness of it all here.
Or what happens to this person
happens to those people. They're from the economically green economist. How's it going there? I feel like a green elf today. I want to please make me stop looking at this monitor. It's blaring.
The lady with the green.
And also, we're going to have David Lewis talk a little bit about some of our meeting for the bike committee, and something that we've been creating and make happen. Woodstock is going to be a bike-friendly town pretty soon.
They're doing the same thing in Kingston.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing in Kingston. I think it's in a wave. It's somewhere in the air.
It's here at the fork in the road.
It's here at the fork in the road. And if anyone has any ideas about, we have a really fabulous map that an artist made, and I'm sorry I don't know the name of the artist, but we have to put, like right now we have it saying Bike Woodstock, and I think that's great. It's really blunt and put to the point. But if someone could come up with like a slogan, like something like, this is one of mine that I came up, feel like a cog in the wheel, just feel like another cog in the wheel, well, start spinning. How do you like that? If anyone could come up with a good slogan,
the wheel. Okay,
give us a ring.
Here's the video.
If you haven't seen enough of me, here's some more.
Here's what I like to say. I say, if ever there is a great flood, once it comes, the song's called The Same Boat. Thank you, Julia, for that wonderful egg song. Oh, prison day, train, car, hieroglyphs, and freeways. You made me reminisce of my time. The world was a water, and we navigate to nest with a boat beside the bed. Oh, people don't fist their love, tide of turning tide. All this speaks, which lights the lamps' eyes. That's the eye, the soul that outside me. Oh, well, speak to me, treasure of the mind. Sing to me, sacred song. You said to me, right. This verse is about all those massive headliners, full-liners, liners we usually left, and they're all charged out to be under the bridge, running right, fluttering, rolling through the railway to the street, and the wind is there, and still chugging away. I guess it's something close to miraculous that we can all see to ourselves today. Oh, Lord, I'm seeing helps you hold on to carry. You know, but I'll stick to death.
that microphone. Whoa! Just like.
Can you hear this if I play this?
Yeah.
And you can fix it? Well, what I was saying is I've been feeling a little emotional lately, so you all get to hear it. Fine. Not here, David.
I'm not sure that. Okay.
Okay, so you are a busy man because you've been...
I've been running from one place to the next, and I got back from school today, and I had a short little meeting with my roommates about keeping the house clean. And then I had to go to the gym, and then from the gym I came home and I cleaned up because nothing had been cleaned after the meeting.
And you had time to cook this.
And so I started cooking.
This is
by the time I was done cooking, and I put my plate on my food, I looked over, and it was 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes until the show was beginning, and I knew it takes me 10 minutes to get there. So I just put it on my car and ate on the way here.
Did you get some of this food from the health food store?
No, well, the ingredients are from the health food store. You want to see what we got?
Did you ride your bike?
Let's do
Did you ride your bike there?
Let's do a close up on the food here. Got that. This here is a pad thai that I made. I used that kit that they sell at the. It's a little box kit that they sell at the health food store at the Costa, and then I make a stir fry, tofu and vegetables, broccoli, onions, and I add some of that oive soy sauce. The oive soy sauce. And this here is a stir fried. Actually, this is an amalgamation of different leftovers. One of these is rice and lentils. The other one was a tofu scramble that I made.
Well, I think it would be. I mean, that looks like a very healthy meal, and
it's all vegan, no meat or dairy.
What also would be a good thing for your lifestyle. You go to the gym a lot, but also biking. Biking would be a wonderful thing to add on to this list of things that you could do while you were going shopping. And
excuse me.
Oh, we're getting a call.
Yeah. No, I'm on the air. Sell. Okay.
So you thought that would be a great idea. So we did form a committee called the spokespeople.
Well, it's not actually a committee, and that keeps getting thrown around there. The spokesperson for the committee. We're actually a task force.
Oh, right. But I like to say that I'm a spokesperson for the new task force.
And you are.
And so.
Then you come up with some slogans. Let's hear them.
Come up with some slogans. Well, that one about the cog in the wheel. How about Got Wheels?
Got Wheels was another one.
That one's real original.
The town has spoken.
The town has spoken. How about you guys like this one? Ride like the wind. Ride Woodstock. Ooh. Oh, I got some oohs out of the audience.
Or take a trip in Woodstock.
Take a trip. Pedal power. Carbon footprint, 0.
Oh, on the road to zero carbon.
On the road to zero carbon. Now, if any of you guys have any brainstorms, tell that inner critic to go take a hike. Call us up if you got any ideas, or send it to journeyblueheaven@gmail.com or David Lewis.
We need to write that one down. On the road to zero carbon.
On the road to zero carbon.
We didn't write that one down.
Yeah, I got to write that one down.
We're getting along with our meetings. We've been meeting. Now Billy Denter's got involved from the bike shop in Woodstock.
And also, I'm sorry to interrupt, but these are open meetings. So if anyone is inspired by this kind of activity,
when's the next meeting?
The next meeting is it
January 6th?
Oh, that's when the next meeting is. It's a good thing you know. So
which is the Tuesday after our big vacation.
Okay, so have a great vacation, and then you could, come to the meeting after the vacation. So I had some interesting things there. Jewel, do you have that DVD in there?
Well, anyway, we should talk about the bike line thing.
And get ready for it. Not quite yet.
What was interesting about having Billy around was that because Billy does so much biking in town, he knows a lot of off-road bike paths through town. And I think of some, and I know a handful just because I've ridden around here most of my life. And most of them, they seemed like they'd be difficult to actually establish as a trail. But he just went through a list. He knew all these ways to get from Bearsville to Woodstock to the 375, just riding bikes through and not even hitting really main roads much.
Okay.
And so if we could make a map and establish some of these trails and get the permission of the owners of the land to allow bike traffic through there, it could be a really cool thing.
That would be really good, and everyone would be happier, and we'd inhale less smog and chemicals. So. And
I'm really excited about the idea of. We're concerned about sometimes it might not be possible to widen the road, like in the middle of town.
Right.
But something that when we call the county or the state, they keep telling us, people need to know that the bikers have access to the road.
That it's very legal.
The bikers actually have a legal access to the road. They don't have legal access to the sidewalk. They're not allowed to ride on the sidewalk, but they are allowed to ride on the road. So if we were to simply take the car lane that exists right now and mark off the right third with a little bike emblem, a green line, and show that within the car lane there's a bike lane. The bikers stay within that lane, and the car drivers drive behind them. Even though it's not any construction, it's just putting down a little bit of paint, it could change the whole scenario for biking in town.
It would give everyone some awareness.
It creates an awareness. It makes people realize, wow, the bikes really do have access to the road. It also keeps the bikers from just riding all over the place. They stay within their lane.
Excuse me 1 minute. I have a message here.
What's that say?
Oh, on the road to zero carbon. Pedal the Woodstock.
Breeze to the globalizing zero carbon in 5 years. Beginning now. In Ulster County, USA.
In Ulster County, USA.
There we go.
All right. That was just in from the Revolution Gazette? The Transvolution Gazette.
The Transvolution Gazette.
From the Economically Green Economist. Thank you. That was excellent. We'll put that in our files.
So what we're going to do at the end of this task force is we're going to present our findings to the town at the town board meeting, I believe on January 20th.
Ooh, okay.
I got to double check that though.
Big day.
So we'll keep you up to date.
Yeah, because we want to get people there, to show their support for.
We want everyone bike there.
We want human-powered transportation.
Non-car.
Non-motorized transportation.
Yes,
we want human-powered vehicles and non-motorized transportation in Woodstock.
Bring your sled.
Dog sleds?
Yeah.
If it's snowing, dog sleds would be appropriate.
You see the sky sleigh. Riding the
Bring
surf.
your sky.
I wonder if they could do
riding the surf of the sea of the sky.
They should do like rollerblade dog sleds.
Rollerblade dog sleds.
So you can still have a dog sled.
And bicycle powered electric. I think they should have a bicycle on the green. So when kids just hang out, they can ride their bike and then generate electricity for all the stores.
Wait. Oh, so a bicycle generator.
Yeah.
You're saying, and just put it on the green.
Yeah, because how many hours of your life have you hung out on the green?
You know what they really need to use as a generator? It's a hacky sack. So you can play hacky sack and that generates electricity.
That'd be phenomenal. Now, talking about thinking outside of the box, we have some controversial footage to show you by the Zeitgeist fellows, and some of us don't agree on it because I think it's objective, but he doesn't really think so.
Let's see what it says.
So let's show track 4. This is just the end of a really long introduction and chapters. I think it might be in there. I'll try and show some of the footage every week for you.
Let's see what we got on there. What is
that? That looks fabulous. Yeah, read that. That's not it.
Okay, why don't we put Philip on and I'll put the DVD on.
Okay.
Here, Philip, why don't you sit down in that chair?
Here, you can read it until we have it down. There you go.
On the road to zero carbon, pedal the Woodstock breeze to the globalizing zero carbon Ulster County, USA in 5 years beginning now. On the road again to zero carbon. Pedal the Woodstock breeze to this globalizing fad of all fads. Zero carbon in 5 years beginning now at the fork in the road.
Yeah.
Right. To a higher ground, to where our God, the mother of our bodies, put our heart. And how do you get to your heart? You gotta pass through the right. You gotta pass through the right. You gotta bring the religious with you. You gotta bring the religious with you. And the sediment is the religionist. The sediment is religionist. Question, folks. Why doesn't the Christian calendar start on December 25? Couldn't just be one has absolutely nothing to do with the other, could it? Yeah. Here at the fork in the road, it's the ecologically, environmentally, economically to do. $1 trillion fad, $1 trillion globalizing fad. Then we have the footings and the foundations.
The social values of our society, which has manifested in perpetual warfare, corruption, oppressive laws, social stratification, irrelevant superstitions, environmental destruction, and a despotic, socially indifferent, profit-oriented ruling class, is fundamentally the result of a collective ignorance of two of the most basic insights humans can have about reality: the emergent and symbiotic aspects of natural law. The emergent nature of reality is that all systems, whether it is knowledge, society, technology, philosophy, or any other creation, will, when uninhibited, undergo fluid, perpetual change. What we consider commonplace today, such as modern communication and transportation, would have been unimaginable in ancient times. Likewise, the future will contain technologies, realizations, and social structures that we cannot even fathom in the present. We have gone from alchemy to chemistry, from a geocentric universe to a heliocentric, from believing that demons were the cause of illness to modern medicine. This development shows no sign of ending, and it is this awareness that aligns us and leads us on a continuous path to growth and progress. Static, empirical knowledge does not exist. Rather, it is the insight of the emergence of all systems we must recognize. This means we must be open to new information at all times, even if it threatens our current belief system and hence identities. Sadly, society today has failed to recognize this, and the established institutions continue to paralyze growth by preserving outdated social structures. Simultaneously, the population suffers from a fear of change, for their conditioning assumes a static identity, and challenging one's belief system usually results in insult and apprehension. For being wrong is erroneously associated with failure, when, in fact, to be proven wrong should be celebrated, for it is elevating someone to a new level of understanding, furthering awareness. The fact is, there is no such thing as a smart human being, for it is merely a matter of time before their ideas are updated, changed, or eradicated. And this tendency to blindly hold on to a belief system, sheltering it from new, possibly transforming information, is nothing less than a form of intellectual materialism. The monetary system perpetuates this materialism not only by its self-preserving structures, but also through the countless number of people who have been conditioned into blindly and thoughtlessly upholding these structures, therefore becoming self-appointed guardians of the status quo. Sheep, which no longer need a sheepdog to control them, for they control each other by ostracizing those who step out of the norm. This tendency to resist change and uphold existing institutions for the sake of identity, comfort, power, and profit is completely unsustainable and will only produce further imbalance, fragmentation, distortion, and invariably, destruction. It's time to change. From hunters and gatherers to the agricultural revolution to the industrial revolution, the pattern is clear. It is time for a new social system which reflects the understandings we have today. The monetary system is a product of a period of time where scarcity was a reality. Now, with the age of technology, it is no longer relevant to society. Gone with the aberrant behavior it manifests. Likewise, dominant worldviews, such as theistic religion, operate with the same social irrelevancy. Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, and all of the others exist as barriers to personal and social growth, for each group perpetuates a closed worldview, and this finite understanding that they acknowledge is simply not possible in an emergent universe. Yet, religion has succeeded in shutting down the awareness of this emergence by instilling the psychological distortion of faith upon its followers, where logic and new information is rejected in favor of traditionalized, outdated beliefs.
The concept of God is really a method of accounting for the nature of things. In the early days, people didn't know enough about how things formed, how nature worked, so they invented their own little stories. And they made God in their own image. A guy that gets angry when people don't behave right. He creates floods and earthquakes. And they say it's an act of God.
A cursory glance at the suppressed history of religion reveals that even the foundational myths themselves are emergent culminations, developed through influence over time. For example, a cardinal doctrine of the Christian faith is the death and resurrection of Christ. This notion is so important that the Bible itself states, "And if Christ be not risen, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain." Yet it is very difficult to take this account literally, for not only is there no primary source denoting this supernatural event in secular history, awareness of the enormous number of pre-Christian saviors who also died and were resurrected immediately puts the story in mythological territory by association. Early church figures such as Tertullian went to great lengths to break these associations, even claiming that the devil caused the similarities to occur, stating in the 2nd century, "The devil, whose business is to pervert the truth, mimics the exact circumstance of the divine sacraments. He baptizes his believers and promises forgiveness of sins. He celebrates the oblation of bread and brings in the symbol of the resurrection. Let us therefore acknowledge the craftiness of the devil, who copied certain things of those that be divine." What is truly sad, however, is that when we cease the idea that the stories from Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and all the others are literal history, and accept them for what they really are, which are purely allegorical expressions derived from many faiths, we see that all religions share a common thread, and it is this unifying imperative that needs to be recognized and appreciated. Religious belief has caused more fragmentation and conflict than any other ideology. Christianity alone has 34,000 different subgroups.
The Bible is subject to interpretation. When you read it, you say, "I think Jesus meant this. I think Job meant that. Oh no, he meant this." So you have the Lutheran, the Seventh-day Adventist, the Catholic, and a church divided is no church at all. And a church divided is no church at all.
And this point on division, which is a trademark of all theistic religions, brings us to our second failure of awareness, the false assumption of separation through the rejection of the symbiotic relationship of life. Apart from the understanding that all natural systems are emergent, where all notions of reality will be constantly developed, altered, and even eradicated, we must also understand that all systems are, in fact, invented fragments, merely for the sake of conversation. For there is no such thing as independence in nature. The whole of nature is a unified system of interdependent variables, each a cause and a reaction, existing only as a concentrated whole.
You don't see the plug connected to the environment, so it looks like we're free, wandering around. Take the oxygen away, we all die immediately. Take plant life away, we die. And without the sun, all the plants die. So we are connected.
We really must take into account the totality. This isn't just a human experience on this planet. This is a total experience. And we know we can't survive without plants and animals. We know we can't survive without the four elements, you know. And so when are we going to really start taking that into account? That's what it is to be successful. Success depends on how well we relate to everything around us. I'm very aware of the fact that my grandson cannot possibly hope to inherit a sustainable, peaceful, stable, socially just world unless every child today growing up in Ethiopia and Indonesia.
We're still green.
I didn't know.
Do we get the sounds
Do we
here?
have room for a musician to play?
Yeah. We got 15 minutes. Jewel, have you done our sound? Are we on?
Yeah, you're on sound.
We're on sound. And we're green. We're green. So I kind of wanted to talk about the video a little bit because it's along the same lines as the original Zeitgeist movie and also Bill Maher's movie Religulous, which, you know, just the title, Religulous. It's Spider-Man. Here I am talking about religion with Spider-Man. But all of these movies belong to the kind of what's been termed by some as the new atheist movement. Now, and the funny thing about the new atheist movies, there's nothing new about it. All the arguments made in these movies go back. Wait, can I?
Religious movement. It's the religious movement.
Okay.
Versus the religious movement.
Okay.
If you can't keep the discourse at a calm level,
I gotta take the mask off.
Discourse.
Get it?
Wow.
We need superheroes in times like these. We have one.
The problem with religious discussion, you know, is people get so upset, you know, and you can't talk.
That's why people wear masks, you know, to hide their faces. You know, they did that in Venice in the 1500s. People went to court with masks on, and people walked around with masks on. In fact, because it was the center of all the pirates. In fact, so no one wanted to really be put on trial by anyone else, so they all had to be anonymous. So they all wore masks. Well, they ended that after a little while, although people tried to hold on to it.
Well, anyway, the thing about the whole, you know, new atheist movement is it tries to portray religion as being extremely intolerant, you know. Yet it doesn't realize the fact that it itself is even more intolerant than the religious people that it's
I think it's the word religion. You know, our friend over here was talking about faith is a little bit more important than the religion. It's, you know, a lot of people say I'm doing this in the name of God, and they're not really doing it in the name of God at all, because the name of God, if you look at all the religions, you see what they're saying. There's a basic point and tenet, which, you know, God is good, God is merciful, God is compassionate.
And God has you subservient.
Okay, but whatever you'd like to think of, yes. If you want to think about it like that, the universe, you are subservient to the universe. The universe is complete control.
You are one with the universe.
Yes,
you are one with the universe.
Yes.
You are not subservient.
Security.
Okay.
We need some subservience here. No.
You know what? This is a wonderful topic, and I'd like
we'll have to touch on it another
day. You guys
forget about this. Let's go to the musical interlude.
I want to have Steve sing some cool tunes. You guys want to talk about it after, but let's hear some music.
I don't know. I'm subservient, so
let's
you know, whatever it is,
let's
do it.
Well, it's a good topic.
There ain't no bed, radiator, or
Religion's a suiting topic for this song. So it's Christmas time, and I'm going to do the Christmas song that the band played, that the band wrote, and suiting for this town, this time of the year, and this discussion. Right. Sing along if y'all like that. Come down to the manger, see the little stranger, wrapped in swaddling clothes, the Prince of Peace. Yeah! Wheels are turning, torches are burning, and the old wise men journey from the east. Our
clock got by. It was holy night, the band of angels sing. In a dream I heard a voice, said, "Fear not, come rejoice." Yes, baby. The land of the beginning, praise the newborn King. Now a little baby boy, bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas Eve tonight. I saw it with my own eyes, written up in the sky. Why a simple herdsman such as I? And then it came to pass, he was born at last. Right below the star that shines on high. Now a little baby boy, bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, he carried the light. This must be Christmas Eve tonight. Son of a carpenter, he carried the light. This must be Christmas Eve tonight.
Thank you to the band, and thank you, Rick Danko.
Thank you.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
Thank you, Steve. I need Wonder Woman to come to the stage and help me closing the show. Oh, I think it's you. You're out of costume. We don't want to.
Steve, this is so fabulous.
You took the intro.
Oh shit! Oh, I didn't. Yeah.
Well, we're at the outro anyway.
Here, this is the intro. We're gonna show the outro for the intro.
Remember, folks, you don't need to wear a mask to be a superhero.
Yeah. Just love your neighbor. Don't feed the bears. Remember,
You can wear a mask if you want to.
No matter what your beliefs, just be good to your fellow kid friend.
January 9th.
January 9th.
Love all fellow men and women and animals.
This is against marijuana prohibition in
Oh,
Albany.
January 9th, there's
campers come along, and we'll be, or you can make some phone calls.
You advertise this because I don't even know what I'm talking about.
All right, guys, this is your opportunity. This is really reality. I wanted to
Get a
say
little
that.
down there. Yeah, sit down.
We can fit all this there. This is real. People are dying of cancer. Kids are being put into adoptive services where their body parts are being used for donations for people and for these children to be used as servants. I know this is really abstract, and we've had this lobbyist talk to us, but this is really affecting a lot of people. These laws that are against people's religious right to partake in this and or use this as medicine and or use this as food and or use this as fuel and or use this as shelter. This is real, and this is all about all of our freedom, and this we're at a real turning point.
Yeah.
And it's all of your opportunity right now.
What is it?
So we're talking about January 9th. We're talking about standing up, and for those first 200 folks, you'll be getting hopefully a hemp shirt saying that you are officially a citizen against marijuana prohibition activist.
All right.
And it's your opportunity to stand up, and if you cannot show up due to weather and or life, you can also make a phone call. So we'll be giving you that phone number next week, and we'll be trying to get this lobbyist out there for you so you can really see what's happening to these children who have been put up for adoptive services. So you can really get the full spectrum. That $35,000 a year program being spent to house a person, whereas if that person was put into rehabilitation, it's $5,000. We have to really reconsider what we are doing right now, and also to boot baby, this stuff heals people from cancer. The actual oil. Ooh. This is no joke. Rick Simpson, Run for the Cure, and this is like totally documented. This is rockin' stuff, guys.
This is rocket science.
Kids are, again, kids. I'm talking about, I love the children, so I'm really putting on the kid realm because, you know, there are kids who are freaking on leukemia right now, and a little bit of oil, no side effects, boom, boom, boom. All right, Steve, give me the run through. Love you. Do your job.
You guys heard it from Starshine. So, happy holidays, everyone. Everyone at Woodstock Television.
Keep going. Tell us what your vision is.